The next piece I'll be writing about is Bust of a Woman, and the city and country of work is Italy, most likely according to the timeline in Naples or Sicily. The specific location of work is the Museum of Art History in Vienna, Austria. The artist responsible for the work is Francesco Laurana. The artist's nationality at the time was considered Italian, but in the modern day he's considered Croatian. The medium of work is marble sculpture colored with wax appliques on one of them. And the period of work is Renaissance. The historic relevance of work are the regions in which the artist resided were crucial locations during the Renaissance in Italy. Once a very profound and popular piece, especially in the late 19th century for copies in bourgeois houses. And kind of the entire point of the exhibit was kind of to like rekindle that public interest in it that it once had. How long it takes to create is unknown, and as well as the date, but it's most likely in the last third of the 15th century, around 1470 to 80. This work is important because it's one of the few Renaissance marble busts with coloring. The work is one of the most significant creations of 15th century portrait sculpture. The defining characteristics of the work are that it exemplifies a pattern used by Laurana, for his series of mysterious female busts. There's 9 of them. Their rigidly symmetrical composition combined with a subtly animated overall impression, and her eyes are inverted. An action scene around the base of the plain marble bust, goes all the way around. And to me, it almost looks like Roman-inspired-ish. I could be wrong. And then on the sequel to it, there's color and a different headpiece added to it than the updo in the first one. The historical contributions of the artist are, not much is known about him, besides kind of like where he studied and like who he studied under. Other notable works by him, though, include many additions to churches and cathedrals in Sicily particularly, such as the Madonna and Child sculptures in the cathedrals of the Palermo. My personal observation was that it's really difficult to read the actual sculpture's expression. That's probably on purpose since it was very orderly in it, but you can't really tell what emotion she's feeling at all. Why did I choose this work? It's because I was just interested. There was a whole exhibit dedicated to one artist in this giant museum dedicated to art history, so I was guessing it had to be important, and it was interesting that it was so ominous. Honestly, I was interested in ominity? That's probably not a word, but whatever. As this compared to other works from the period, as I mentioned, the color is really an exceptional inclusion. Most busts were in the Renaissance were imitating Greek, and they kind of stayed white marble. This, though, really reflected like the clothing and the style that was popular in Italy during the Renaissance, and added color, which wasn't normal. And one fun fact is that included in the exhibit on the walls are Petrarch's poems about the subject, who has been adorned as a Laura. So it's not clear who the women in the bust actually are. The unnamed ones were just named Laura kind of by the public, and they've kind of conjoined it with Petrarch's work, which Petrarch was obsessed with this woman named Laura, who no one really knows if she existed or not, but he wrote hundreds and hundreds of sonnets and poems about how much he loved this woman, and he really perfected the sonnet and wrote the canzoniere for her. And even in the poetry, he talks about how she really doesn't like him back. But yeah.